This is part one uh, of this summary of the noise dispute I have with John Collins, Pennine Housing, and Christine McMahon. I'll have to do it in two parts.
Right, I'm just what you call it. I'm just gonna summarise these noise complaints. This this noise dispute I've had with my neighbour because uh, she's lying basically. She's making up false claims about noise, and Pennine also. There are so many contradictions within this situation. Now, this situation started on the 13th of April. That's when my next door neighbour Joan came round. Uh, I was playing with music around dinner time. So she came around, knocked on the door. I basically answered, obviously. She said, could you turn your music down? I said, absolutely, yeah, yeah. And then she kind of, she said other neighbours were complaining, other neighbours wasn't happy, and basically said she'd go to Pennine type of thing. So we had a bit of discussion on the doorstep. I kind of got, my tone went up a bit, obviously, because I thought, well, it's, what me go to Pennine, all that kind of stuff, and, I say, please produce some evidence, of times I've played, and, is it late at night, and and how many times you've been round, and how many times we've argued, those type of things. Anyway, so once I calmed my tone down, I apologised, and we ended the conversation nicely, uh, nicely, as we did, as the conversation continued. Thereafter, it always ended with a laugh and a joke and whatever. So that day, the 13th of April, I asked her for the times that she knew she was going to be out. Could you give me the times that you're going to be out, and I'll play within those times. So she said she would. I came in, and then about, I think it were 10-15 minutes later, she posted the times in the letterbox, and those are the times there. Monday 9 till 12, Tuesday 9 till 12:30, Wednesday 9 till 3, as you can see, and it continues all there, 7 days a week. Right, so there is a name. Right, so all 7 days, all the times are there. So those are the times I played within. I never played out of those times. Never. I played within those times. That night, Kath went to the supermarket, and I asked her to pick Joan some flowers up. So that's what happened. I took the flowers round that evening, apologised again for it being loud, and we had a chat on the doorstep, and we discussed it, and I said, if you're ever unhappy, or just come round and see me, and I'll happily turn it off. I said I'll stick to those times, and that's what I did. Left. Then around 17th of August, I received a letter. It was around the 17th of August. I don't know if it was exactly the 17th, but around that time, I received a letter. Uh, But I couldn't understand why. I couldn't understand why I got a letter from Pennine about the about the noise. Sorry about that. What about the noise? I couldn't because I'd been playing within the times. I was playing within the times. So I went to see Joan, and and asked her, have you put a complaint in? And she said, yeah. The first time she was honest, she said, yes, I did. I said, well, why? And she said, because the music was loud. And I said, but I've been playing within the times that you said you were going to be out. Uh, and we went around the mountains, type of thing. And she said that she didn't know if she was going to be home or not. Right. So this is where we're going around the mountains. So I gave her my phone number. That time, I gave her my number and said, well, well, here's my phone number. If you're ever home, and then please phone me. No matter what time you're home, if you're home, then phone me, and I'll happily stop playing. And please bear in mind that I was playing within the times. So now that it's complained, I go around and I give her my phone number. Just in case she is home early or she is off sick to give me a ring. So again, for a few things said, and I left, and like I said, ended it on a joke and a bit of a laugh, type of thing. So then I left. So then, around the 22nd of September, 22nd of September, I received an antisocial letter from Pennine and requesting a home visit. Now I really couldn't understand, because I was playing within the times. I was playing within the times that she said she was going to be out. I give her my phone number, said if you would like to phone me if you're ever in, and then please phone me. So I couldn't understand this now antisocial letter. So I went to see Joan, and because of last time, because of the context of the conversation, and I knew my instincts. Now I'm not daft. Something wasn't right, and I wasn't happy having a conversation with me and her, where it's her word against mine. So then I recorded the conversation just to give myself a bit of security, because in my history, when you've got mental health issues and it's their word against yours, I don't stand a chance against a respectable, such as a Jehovah's Witness, taxpayer, 60-year-old woman, living next door, quiet life, against a young mental health history person. So because of that, I recorded the conversation, and as time continued, I'm so glad I did, because as it proved, this situation is not a normal one. But I did think it was. Let me just first clarify that. I had no reason to think there was any kind of, something not right about the situation. I thought Joan would just lying for some reason. I didn't really know her motives. I didn't know, but I just knew something wasn't right, purely based on I was playing within the times. The first time I bought her flowers and said, come round and see me, yet she hadn't. Yet she puts in a complaint. I give her my phone number. She didn't ring me. She didn't come round to complain. Yet I get another letter on the 22nd. So because of that and my instincts, I recorded the conversation. So I went round to see her, and that's the recording. That's the first recording, and that was recorded on the 25th of September 2015. Now in that conversation, at the beginning, she denies it was her, and it was other neighbours who had been complaining, and it's not just her. Now, at that point, no other neighbour had put in a complaint. No one. Well, I don't know if anyone had put in a complaint, but Pennine never brought that up. As time continued, that other people had, and if they had that information at that time, they certainly would have done. My next door neighbour, diagonally, I've never had a problem with her. I get along with all my neighbours. The one across the road. I've lived here 7 years, 8 years, since 2007. Never had one complaint put in against me. Never had the housing officer out once. Never. Until Joe moves in. So, she denied it, and, said it's other neighbours that complaining. How she'd know other neighbours were, putting in complaints in, I don't know. But, so, and again, I said, well, I play within the times, and what I won't go through all the recording, like I say, but I played within the times. When I do play, it's not all day, every day. It's for half hour, an hour, so it's not constant. It's not excessive. It's not to a point of really affecting someone's life. It really isn't, to the point of it being unbearable. And remember, I must stress this. I'm playing within the time that she says she's going to be out. So I'm not playing when she's in. I'm playing with the time that she says she's going to be out. I've told her to ring me. I've told her to come round and see me. Now, she said, uh, in that conversation, uh, 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 she, uh, she said she's been looking for a place to live, right? In that conversation, she said she's out looking for a place to live. So it's got to the point where she's looking for a place to live, yet hasn't phoned me. Didn't phone me once. Didn't come round. Didn't send a relative, to come round and see me. Say my mum was unhappy about this, or my sister, or whatever the reason. It's got to the point where she says it's making her ill, yet she hasn't come round to see me. She hasn't rang me, and it got to the point where she's looking for somewhere to live and doesn't approach me. So uh, she had no evidence to back up her claims. We're in that recording, the tone was my word against yours, and she says she's got no evidence. She had no evidence to support her claims that this is going on. What shows she's no evidence of the times I've been playing. Nothing. No evidence, of the phone calls. She's got no kind of record, of calls that she's phoned, because she does actually say she rang me, and I said, well, you haven't, because I got a missed call, and you could have left a voicemail. You could have phoned me at night time, because when I record on my guitar on my phone, I put the airplane mode on, so she could quite easily wait till I finished and then rang me. Maybe rang her after tea time, when she knows it's definitely off, when she knows it's definitely not on. I left a voicemail then. I when you were playing music today, it was a bit loud. That I said ring if it was bothering her, but she didn't. And then she said in that one, she said I must have given her the wrong number. Yet she phoned weeks after. She phoned my phone, so she had my number. Yet in that first recording, date the 25th, she said I must have given her the wrong number. So, for the first time, she's got no evidence to back up her claims. I gave her my phone number previously, and she said, she's not rang me. She hasn't been round. I play within the time that she says she's going to be out. It's never all day excessively. So that was the what I call what is it now? So that was the first time I record the conversation. So on the 29th of September is when Elliot Collins came from Pennine. Now I didn't record the conversation with Elliot because I had no reason to. I only recorded the conversation with Joan because of the conversation before, and I knew the context and I knew something wasn't right, but I had no reason to record Elliot because I had no suspicion of Pennine, thinking there was a part of her motives. I thought it was a genuine neighbour who was being I don't know what her motives. I didn't know if she was of sound mind. I mean, I don't know these things, So I certainly didn't think at that time Pennine, were connected to this. And as time continued, I think any logical thinking person would think the same as me. So when Elliot came on the 29th of September, like I said, I didn't record. I told him my side. I felt confident that he would hear my side. I felt confident that he would, kind of see the logic. So I told him my side, and then he left, and then I didn't obviously hear anything. Obviously, he left the house that day, but I didn't want to send Pennine this recording on the recording that I taped on the 25th, but because of my history, because of your word against mine and the things I've said about her, her being a lady, your witness, I thought, if he's got the recording, he's got it all there. He's got my word and her word, like in the same time, and he'll know that I've played with the times and I've tried to resolve it and I've done my best and just had a conversation, when. So I sent Pennine the recording, so then he could make a decision with both mine and her word in. I didn't want to disrespect him by sending the recording. I didn't want to send a recording because I didn't really want to. I didn't really want to do that. Basically, I wanted to respect his professional opinion, and hopefully would have seen the truth basically. But because of my history, I thought if he's got everything, he can make a decision now with logic, and that would be the matter resolved. That's what I thought. So then that was it. That was on the. Was it? So there was that, and then time passed, and then on the 18th of October, I received a call off Elliot, and again I didn't record the conversation with Elliot on the 18th, and he said that they were referring it to the Restorative Justice Council, and to sign an agreement basically, on this dispute, right? So I thought, well, that's right, okay, well that works, yeah, that's good. If we can get some on paper where it protects me, and if anything untoward happens, like I'm playing it all day every day, it protects Joan. More of a reason, more to protect me, because I know she was lying. I know she was lying. That's you can't dispute, what a person says on a tape, can you? No, you can't. You can dispute what someone says in their head when they don't have that thoughts out there. Or proof, let's say, but you can't dispute what a person says on tape. So let me just say that. So then I said, okay, then that's great, So then that was that call. Christine Savage McMahon from Restorative Justice Council phoned on the 19th of October, basically introducing herself. And again, I didn't record that conversation because there was no reason to. I didn't feel I had to. I just thought there's a petty neighbour. Pennine have come out, now they're talking about an agreement, and that would be the matter resolved. So the first conversation with Christine, I did not record. Why would I? I didn't think there was anything untoward. So she phones, and because of that conversation, I wasn't happy. It's like I was trying to resolve it. It was almost like she was taking sides. And as it continued, like, you'll see what I mean. Right, so I put the phone down, and then she rang on the 23rd of the 10th, and these recordings are on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook. So she rings on the 23rd, and I recorded that conversation, and she starts off actually, with an almost, in my opinion, an almost kind of, or the police have passed it on. Not like I say, that's not a part of it. That's just a passing thought, but an almost the police have been in contact type of thing. So I just thought I'd share that police part. At the beginning. She must know if the police passed it on or housing, type of thing. Anyway, so in that conversation, she talks about it being, just trying to find an easy resolve when I have resolved it. I played with the times. I bought her flowers. I've given my phone number. So what more can I do? What more can I do? I've suggested the times. I've given my phone number. I say if you come home, I'll stop playing. Just phone me. Now in that conversation on the 23rd, Christine does say it's been fine for a week, but before So if it's been fine for a week, then what needs to be the issue? And it doesn't make any sense. It's been fine for a week, but yeah, it's been fine for a week. So then what's the issue type of thing? And if I'm doing everything and I'm playing in the times, you know, it's almost like it's not resolved, right? As long as Joan says, as long as she's not happy, it's not resolved, and that's the way that's the way it's been, and that conversation ended nicely. Bearing in mind, from the first conversation, up until this conversation, I've been polite. You know, I've not been threatening. I've not been intimidating. I've been polite. I've been courteous. The conversation always ends, with a joke or just nicely. Not one bit of intimidation. When I've been to speak to John, I've spoke about the issues. You know, I've bought flowers and the rest of it, and we've had a laugh, and John's laughed as well in parts. So that were the 23rd. Right, I'm going to play this recording, which was recorded on the 28th. Now this was the night after the recording, the 27th of October, between me, Joan, and she said it was a brother, Chris. So this was after the night. This is after the process, of the complaints, through to Elliot coming round, through in phoning on the 18th, through Christine coming, which I thought was to sign an agreement, through the recordings on the 23rd with me and Christine, the recordings here at my house on the 27th, and the 27th in the evening. That was the recording with John and Chris. Now this is the recording the day after. This is after John not being happy. I'm playing with the time. She's thinking of moving. It's making her ill. And she's not happy. So bear in mind that this is after everything. This is after the complaints. It's after everything. So this is the conversation I had with Christine.
Hello?
Hi, Aaron.
Hello, Christine.
Hi, sorry, I've got a new phone. I keep pressing the wrong button.
Oh, it's alright.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm okay, thank you.
Good, yeah. I just thought I'd follow up our visit.
Right, okay then.
I thought about it for a while afterwards. First of all,
Yeah.
Jonah said there's never a problem at night at all.
Right, so never a problem at night at all.
Okay, good.
So that's one thing we're clear about. It's only the daytime volume sometimes because she can't always predict when she's working.
It's only the daytime, but I've been playing with the time that she said she was going to be out.
It feels awkward to keep contacting you. So one of the things when
It feels awkward to keep contacting me, yet she's only ever contacted me once, and that's when she was out. She'd gone away for the week, and I didn't know that. I didn't know she'd gone away, and I'd left a few notes in the door, type of thing, because I like to play music. I left a note in the door, type of thing, and she rang me when she came back. That's the only time she ever rang me. At this point, not once. In fact, actually, she said she didn't have my phone number, yet she rang me after she said she didn't have it. So she never rang before that. She never contacted me to say, please stop my music. She came round once on the 13th of April, but that's it. So when she talks when Christine says she want to contact you, is a lie. And I'll play it.
if it would help,
Yeah.
remember we talked about environmental health and equipment, and they have a thing that they do that's what's normal, what the normal limit, daytime, which is either night of course, the daytime volumes are playing. Would you like them to come and tell you what's normal, and then that's not us or not Joan, it's just information for you on what's normally acceptable.
And then why couldn't they have done this in the first place? Why couldn't they not say that in the first place? The day before, Joan's not happy. the day before a mediation centre. The day before, Joan, it's making a will. Joan's not happy. Yet now they're talking about sending environment out where it's separate from Joan. I get told what's acceptable. Now at this point, now I don't know this for sure. In fact, yeah, I do. I told Christine the day before that I was recording the conversations. That I recorded the conversation with Joan. I sent Pennine the recording. So the day before, Joan's not happy and the rest of it, and talking about a mediation centre purely based on what Joan's saying, by the way, purely based on her saying she's not happy, it's not resolved. So no matter what I said, no matter what I did, as long as Joan kept on saying she wasn't happy, it wasn't resolved, and I was in contempt of that. Now how is that possible? How could that be? If they're separate from this situation with my next door neighbour, how can she say something, right, and I'm not listened to? I just get ignored for telling the truth, and I've got evidence to back that up with her words in. I've got evidence to show that she's lying, right? And no matter what I say, as long as she says it's not resolved, it's not resolved. So we've gone from it not being resolved, a mediation centre, a cup of tea probably ending with a cuddle, right? To now we'll send some environment officer out.
Yeah, I mean,
Would that be helpful? Because that's a detached person. They're not there to enforce any laws. Just they know they have a machine that says what is acceptable
Well,
daytime and nighttime. Now you don't need to worry about nighttime because she says you're never a problem at night.
yeah. I mean,
Only the daytime volume. So would you like me to
Right, it's never a problem at night.
try and fix that up sometime where they just come down and show you what's normal?
yeah. But what I would say is, Christine, like I
There's
say,
no pressure.
yeah. I mean, I never played at night, but it's like we're not going on road ground because like I said, I want to get this resolved now. There's no point going through it's bits and what's and she said, she said. Because I don't play during the night at all. But at the same time, I don't play all the time we agreed. And I did say to John, what we're saying, I did say if she's home half hour earlier, and I still think I've got half hours to play to come round. And I did say if she came home 2 hours earlier, 3 hours earlier. So I have said if she did come home early, that I would turn it off. Now,
She did say that. She agreed you've done that.
yeah.
Right, okay then. So Joan has agreed that I said that. Right, okay.
Now, I
She's just uncomfortable with it, Aaron, and I might not be, but somebody is, and I'm just check with. I feel like
Christine,
we're nearly there. She said there's not been any trouble lately.
Christine,
so anyway.
Right, so there's not been any trouble lately. There's not been any trouble lately. So what seems to be the issue then? What seems to be the issue? It's like, it's so contradictory what they're saying, right? And as well, if I play within the agreed times, and I've also given my number and said come round if you're home early, come round or phone me, and she comes home early and doesn't phone me, doesn't come round, and I don't know if she's home, and I continue to say this, right, but I'll say it now because I'll be able to word it better, and I don't know if she's home, but I still think I've got an hour to play. Is it justified that she then puts in a complaint, and that's accepted by Pennine? That's looked at me being breaching my tenancy. Does that make sense to you? That I can play. I'm the one who's asked for the times. I'm the one who's playing within the times. Never a time after. When some people like to play back out of hell at 5 o'clock at night, it's not illegal to play music. There's not a certain time. A neighbour can't dictate when and when you can't play music. I'm the one who's been reasonable. I'm the one who's respecting my neighbour. I'm the one who's making all the effort. I'm the one who's trying to resolve this. And please bear in mind, I'm playing within the times. Now that's not fair. If she's out, if she's in, but I think she's out, and I've given her my number to ring me, and she hasn't, and then she phones Pennine and puts in a complaint, and they accept that, and I'm in breach of my tenancy. Now that's not right.
In the day, it's just trying to make sure things don't get difficult again.
What do you mean difficult again? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's beyond illogical. Crazy. What do you mean crazy again?
We're not.
annoyed. I'm very annoyed. Never mind, no one's annoyed. I'm annoyed.
How am I supposed to know? Chris, how am I supposed to know if she comes home half hour earlier and I still think I've got half hour to play?
If you got environmental health to give you a level that was alright, it wouldn't matter whether she was in or out.
But
If we take it away from her, then she, you know, whatever she thinks doesn't matter because they've said what's acceptable and what isn't by normal standards. So it's taking it away from you.
Yeah, but if I'm playing within the times we agreed on.
That wouldn't fit for you.
Yeah, but if I'm playing the times if I'm playing within the time that she says she's out, and then she comes home half hour, how am I supposed to know? Is it justified? If we've agreed a time, is it justified, Christine? Please listen to me. Is it justified that if we agree a time, I'm playing within those times, she comes home half hour earlier, she doesn't let me know when I've asked her to, is it justified that she puts in a complaint because she's not happy if she comes home half hour earlier?
I think it's difficult to explain where she's coming from if you've not experienced it yourself.
Experienced what?
I lived where I lived that was deaf. And he said to me, look, Christine, I sometimes forget the turn the TV up really loud. If it's too loud, just give me a ring. And I said, oh, that's great, Chris, thanks. And I did once or twice, but I felt really awkward about ringing him.
And then,
I
did how that
in the wrong way. It's hard to explain.
And then how that...
I don't understand why it's difficult, but we want to take it away from Joan and say, never mind what Joan thinks, would you listen to the organisation that does this for a job that just sets what's acceptable volumes, just so you could see what they said.
You're not clarifying what I'm saying. How am I punishable just because...
Nobody's punishing you, nobody's punishing you. We're asking if you're willing to look at what they say is normal, that's all. Nobody's punishing you, there's no laws or threats about it. Would you just be willing to look at that so you'd know?
I'll tell you what I would like, Christine. In fact, I would like, please, an apology from Joan. I would like a sincere apology, please. That's what I would like.
Well, that's not what I'm ringing to ask you a question.
Well, I am saying, Christine, I am saying,
check your signs and tell you what's normal.
Well, I would like, please, Christine, I would like,
not just in your neighbourhood, but anywhere in Colchester.
I would like, Christine, well, yes, I would like that.
Just asking, take it away from Joan now.
I would like that as well. I would like that, yes, if we could do that, but also,
Then you know where you're
I would like,
that'll be enough.
Also, Christine,
and you do want to have some pleasure and fun with your music, and that's totally understandable.
right?
Just, I think that's fine. See what they say, and as I say, it's not a rule or a law. It's just so you can see that it's not any particular person's standard. It's just what's acceptable in any area.
But if I'm
It's good information to you, I think, when you know
But,
where you
Christine,
stand.
I'm playing when she's out of the premises. I'm playing when she's out of the premises. How does that make any sense?
Because it's general sound. It's like if I go outside and buy a really loud lawnmower and my neighbours somewhere else.
But I'm playing when she's out, Christine.
Next door neighbour.
I'm playing when she's out of the premises. Please explain that.
But it doesn't matter if she's in or out.
Oh, right. So I'm playing. So now it's gone from it doesn't matter if she's in or out, right? Because it's not to the point where other neighbours are complaining, you know, where it's affecting their life. Now I don't know if anyone's rang, you know, and said music is playing loud, but if they would have produced that by then, they would have said by then if someone had, they would have used everything at that point. Of course they would have done. As time continues, you'll understand that. So no one has been complaining, has never complained, first of all. Since John moved in, I've never had one complaint. I've lived here 8 years. Like I said earlier, from 2007 I moved in here. I get along with all my neighbours. I've lived here, I've lived around here all my life. You know, now I don't know where Joan's from. I don't know if she's, you know, local. I just haven't seen her about. But what I do know is I've lived here all my life. I've lived here since 2007 and never had one complaint put in, never had one issue with Pennine Housing, the housing officer for noise. Derek next door, he was an elderly gentleman. I respect my elders, I respect people, especially next door neighbours. Of course I do. So now it's gone from it doesn't matter if she's in or out. Eh?
Noise level is environmental health. It's about the whole environment. It's not just about your next door neighbour.
But no one else is complaining.
I thought it would be easier for you than talking about.
No one else is complaining though. No one's put a complaint in. So.
But no one else is complaining, Christine. No one else.
We mentioned it yesterday.
No one's complaining, Christine. No one else is complaining.
So is it okay for me to ask them to come and check?
No, I would like if you could explain to me simple things.
I don't do anything about it. I just tell you.
So now you're going from it being Joan to the environment? Eh?
Yeah, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying.
No,
you. Mental health monitored found in the.
No, you don't. You're not understanding me, Christine. You're not.
She doesn't want to cause any trouble. So I'll say, instead of you, what I usually do is get you two to talk, but I don't think that's working because I'd struggle with a conversation with you, and I think Joan would.
I'm struggling with.
This is beyond sinister, in my opinion. Do you understand? She's struggling. I'm the one who's bending over backwards. I'm the one who's playing with the times. I'm the one who's giving me phone number, bought flowers. And I've been polite. Every single time that I've been round, right, I've talked about the issues, just like anyone would. If anyone was going through a situation, to have a bit of a tone, would be understandable. I'm bending over backwards, I've done everything, and I'm playing within the times. And she said I'm hard work, and she just don't want to put me in a room with Joan.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want to put you and Joan in a room together. I choose not to do that.
I would rather not, actually. In fact,
I know.
Christine.
Instead of that,
Christine.
I'm trying to find a way that
Right then.
helps to everybody, which is ask environmental health to tell you what normal noise is.
Christine, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
To let them come and do that.
Christine, I am playing my music, Christine, when she's out of the premises. Now, how is that?
Yes or no, Aaron?
Well, I would like to answer a simple question.
It's not about when she's in or out, it's about how we have noise in our lives. Are you willing to let them show you what the noise is or not?
Who's the noise affecting then, Christine?
Pardon?
Who is the noise affecting?
Joan, like me,
Right, so if there was any other neighbour who were complaining, they would have produced that. It's like, just, look, I'll rewind that again.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
To let them come and do that.
Christine, I am playing my music, Christine, when she's out of the premises. Now, how is that?
Yes or no, Aaron?
Well, I would like to answer a simple question.
It's not about when she's in or out, it's about how we have noise in our lives. Are you willing to let them show you?
And again, it's not about whether she's in or out. Yeah, this is a noise complaint with a neighbour, and it's not about if she's in or out. Well, the complaint must be if she's in, and now she's saying whether she's in or out. Eh? It doesn't matter whether she's in or out.
What the noise is
Well,
or not.
who's the noise affecting then, Christine?
Pardon?
Who is the noise affecting?
Exactly, she ain't got an answer because we don't have one.
Joan, like me, like I just explained with my neighbour, feels uncomfortable having to ring you every time she wants to come home early to ask you to turn the noise down.
And then how am I supposed to? And then how am I supposed to?
Even though you might feel it would be okay for you, it's not okay for her. She feels really awkward, and I would too. So we're asking you to try and understand that, even if it feels weird, and to try and find a way forward. Do you think that would help have environmental health come?
I would like it if you could answer me a simple question.
So, I play with her in the times, right? I give her my phone number and say, please come round if you ever home. And she feels uncomfortable, and I've got to understand that. And then because of that, if I am playing it, within the times, she can put a complaint in, and Pennine accept that. and I get letters for breach of tenancy. Eh?
Please, in a logical, plausible way. Yes, please make it.
Simple logical question, I'll answer it.
Right, okay then. Right.
So go on, ask me the question.
How can it be a problem if I am playing, and please let me finish, how is it a problem if I am playing within the time she is out, and I have said if she comes home half hour earlier to come round and see me, and then...
She doesn't want to have to come and see you every time she comes home. She's uncomfortable with that, I understand that. It's really awkward, and somebody doesn't want to have to come round.
And then how is a person supposed to know that, Christine?
And I really understand you're willing to try and do it when she's out. But that means you've got to keep to it and find next end. She just feels awkward with that. So you've got to live with that, Aaron. She doesn't like it, and I wouldn't either.
And then,
Number one, she came around once on the 13th, right? On the 13th of April, that was it, right? And she's never phoned me, right, to complain about the music. That doesn't make any sense, does it? So I'm giving her my phone number. I'm playing with the times when she's home. You know, she feels uncomfortable coming around. Yeah, she hasn't phoned me once to complain about the music, not once, ever. Unless she can produce times, you know, and like I say, and the conversation that took place. But she's never been round phone once, and she came round once on the 13th. The only two times she came round on the 13th was the first day. That's when she gave me the times to play in, and then she phoned me once when she'd been away for a week. Didn't tell me she was going away for a week. That's how much of a person she is. That's how kind of petty she's been. In fact, beyond petty, she goes away for a week. On a Monday, I finished at 1 o'clock, so I stopped playing at 1 o'clock. And I know she'd gone away for a week, and she wasn't in the premises. I could have carried on playing from 1 o'clock. Other neighbours haven't complained, because Pennine would have brought that forward by now in their complaint. Trust me, they would have done, and Christine would have mentioned it. You know, when I asked, and she's talking about, well, it doesn't matter if she's in or out, because now it's about the environment. And then she talks about, well, John doesn't want to come round because she feels uncomfortable and to-ing and fro-ing. Yeah, she hasn't to-ed and fro-ed once. And again, how can I be in breach of tenancy if I'm playing within the times? I've given her my phone number. You know, I'm bending over backwards, and you know, and she just puts in a complaint, and that's accepted by Pennine. How? How is that breach of tenancy?
Part 2 in the next video.